And we're live.
Good morning, Moaner Gang.
Moaner Gang, episode 3.
Yeah.
So
we're finally in a consistent spot, and we've upgraded. We have these little microphones, so you guys can hear our lovely voices even better.
Oh yeah, I feel like we're speaking into a bunny's ass right now, so this is great.
I'm into it, really. I'm like,
it's a little too furry for my liking.
No, I think they're really fun. It's kind of nice because it's something to do with my hands,
right?
Versus like twitching. So yeah, we're slowly beginning to upgrade the studio, but yeah, we're kind of fake. We're filming on a Saturday today because
she has plans already.
Alternate plans.
She has more important plans than trying to hang out with me on the weekend.
More important plans is aggressive, and I promise we're going to get into not wanting to deal with hanging out with you.
That's impossible. I wouldn't even know anybody
Alec
who would say that.
has been the most annoying human being in my life.
Yeah, that's not my first time hearing that.
Yeah, he's yeah. So I think we're gonna. Do we want to talk about St. Patrick's, or do we want to
Yes.
recap yesterday?
Let's do St. Patrick's first. So, I mean, I would say full disclosure to the Moaner Game because, we're two hardworking, honest Americans here. We did a Zoom last week, and we
recapped St. Patrick's Day, but we really didn't. We weren't into the Zoom thing. We felt it was more. We thought we felt the content was better in person.
We're a lot better when we're close together, but still like an arm's length apart. I feel like that's a good way to describe our friendship.
You have to be. I have to be far enough away where my punch won't hit him.
Yeah, and she has really long arms, so.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we're like.
Yeah, we're
like a little more than my arm away from each other.
And we're just far enough where if she tried to attack me, I could hopefully run out of the way. Yeah. So let's recap St. Patrick's. That was last Saturday.
Yeah.
We woke up. We actually had a friend's birthday on Friday, where we had a big pregame.
I thought Friday was a blast. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we went to the Big and West Loop.
Group. Yeah, I think the best part of last Friday was Alec's dream ratio was achieved in this apartment.
I agree.
It was myself and him, two other guys, one of our friends, and Alec's roommate, and just 30 girls.
Yep.
All in this apartment, milling around. Alec was a chef.
Which I want to say.
Call him Gordon Ramsay. He was cooking.
Yeah, I was cooking. I want to say that happens every weekend, but that would be a lie.
That would be a bold-faced lie.
That would be a very big lie.
I would say 9 times out of 10, it's a 3-man. Myself, Alec, and one of our other really good friends.
Maybe a few more people.
Sometimes, but mostly guys.
Mostly
it's
usually
just me walking the streets of Chicago with like 5
dudes. 5 dudes. But like kind of like a diverse crowd, right? Like we're very big on the DEI initiative here in this household.
Yeah.
One would say.
We're pro DEI.
Yeah. So anyway, so Friday was good. Other than the fact that the ratio went from like 4 dudes to 3 dudes during the pregame, because an hour into the pregame, our friend, who I think we called Tyre on the last episode.
He's Tyre.
He's Tyre, that's his nickname. He, did a few too many shots. And did a few
Tito's like it was no one's fucking business, playing a game where you're supposed to just sip out of it. Like,
yeah,
it was like one of those games. Like I think it was called King's Cup. So like anytime you have to drink, it's normally you take like a civilized sip of your seltzer.
Right.
This like man is every time he has to drink, he's just popping back a fucking Tito shot. And I was like, Tyre, are you sure that why don't we get you a seltzer? He's like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah. And then, the 3 bong hits that he took did not help.
That's what did him in. He then went over to Alec's roommate, and Alec's roommate so generously offered his bong with really strong weed. And your roommate, Jonah, is a professional stoner.
Yeah, I would say so.
And Tyre is not.
Tyre is an amateur at best.
It was one of those things where I saw him take the 3rd hit, and I just saw his face go white.
Yep.
And you could just see him start to sweat, and I was like, this is the beginning of the end for Tyre. And within like I blink my eyes, and next I look at him, there's throw up
Just
all over him.
everywhere.
And Jonah goes, "All right, Tyre, get up, let's go."
And of course, he takes him to my fucking bathroom.
And one thing about Alec,
sweetest guy,
when he is talking to girls, he somehow forgets how to be respectful.
Whoa.
His loyal best friend Julia. So I come to him with this situation. He's like, I don't care. It would just whatever. We'll deal with it.
I think I said something along the lines of they'll figure it out. They are grown adults here.
He said it not very respectfully. He always snaps at me when all I'm trying to do is fix a situation.
That's crazy.
Literally the toilet looks like World War III.
Yeah. Maybe 4. Maybe they skipped over 3.
We have one of our other friends we'll call Elephant. He's like basically suggesting that Tyre is gonna be sleeping on Alec's bed, which I also know is probably not going to work. So I'm like, maybe we should like start sorting. I'm a very type A person.
Yeah.
And Alec is a very type B.
Well, that's not necessarily true because I'm type A, like extroverted, but like type B in the sense of like whatever everything happens kind of happens.
Yeah.
Like,
you're type B with everything else.
That's fine.
And I would say I'm pretty extroverted too, but like I am way more of like I a control freak. Like I need things to be like sorted.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like what comes. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to lose my fucking mind in 2 seconds if we don't.
I see him vomiting and I'm like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. This is his hero arc. So
yeah, he and again, it's early in the night. So he's in the bathroom.
It's like 9 p.m. We haven't even gone out yet.
We haven't even gone out. He's throwing up in the bathroom, like just down for the count.
Letting the demons out.
Yeah. And then eventually he decides that he's going to have to stay the night
in the bathroom,
and he
like a classy guy.
Yeah, so Alec is like, okay, all right, I'll get the air mattress sorted out for you.
So I keep in mind we have like 2 air mattresses. I stick one of them in my bathroom for him to sleep in my bathroom because he refused to lay in my bedroom or leave the bathroom.
I don't blame him for not wanting to lay in your bedroom.
My bedroom is very nice.
It's all right.
That's a crazy take. So anyway, so that was a fun way to start the pregame, 30 minutes in. And then
that was insane.
We went out to Vig West Loop.
Great bar.
Good bar. I mean,
really
a lot of older people, I would say.
I think there was a lot of hot people. Which, I mean, for me,
lots of dudes.
That was...
For you, good. Yeah. For everyone else, no.
For every girl that was there, it was
good. Yeah, good for the girls.
Yeah, so...
And we're proud supporters of women here, so...
Yeah.
Your win is my win here.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
He gets applause for that.
Yeah.
Internal applause. We went to the Vig and we ended up I was under the impression I was going to try to take it easy on Friday because we had to wake up the next day and drink it during the day for St. Pat. Well, we didn't have to, but we're degenerates, so we were going to. We end up we didn't get to sleep until like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we woke up and we have like a bunch of people end up coming. Like we basically at like 11 a.m., 12. There's just like a whole slew of like 15 people that we have never met a day in our lives just at the apartment. And they're like, hey, nice place. And we're like, thanks.
Thank you. Pay a lot of money for this. Nothing funded by the podcast. So we're going to eventually need, a Patreon or something.
Yeah.
So our 2 followers can donate millions of dollars to our cause.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk about even raunchier things on the Patreon whenever we get to doing that. But yeah, so Saturday we leave, we go and look at the river. It was interesting for approximately 5 seconds.
Maybe less.
And then we end up at Boss Bar.
Yep. Well, actually, no, that's not true. We ended up at
that one random bar.
Right. We ended up at some random bar next to Boss Bar.
And they hated us. They hated us. They hated St. Pat. You could just it was a bar not equipped for a bunch of random drunk 20-something-year-olds to just be milling around. It was like
it seemed like a nicer spot at night.
Restaurant. It was a nice little like Italian like eatery type of thing.
Yeah.
And then it's just like there's one part where there's like 50-year-olds trying to have a civilized lunch, which stupid for you to think you're going to have a civilized lunch downtown the Saturday of St. Patrick's Day.
Agreed.
That is everybody's fault for not fucking planning accordingly. So like there's like one part of the room where it's like people in dress shirts and khakis, and the other is like
degenerates in green
shirts and like beer cans.
Blacked.
You can tell the people that are walking straight and the people that are about to tumble over. And the hosts and the servers and managers at this bar like they looked like they needed the hotline. They were you could just tell they were upset.
Yeah.
Even if they were probably going to make good money, I think they just weren't equipped for that at all.
I mean, so what was a TLDR for that one? That girl came up to me. I don't even know what we're going to call her. Really cool girl. Yeah, she was, I've been on like
call her Mary.
Mary? Okay. I would have gone like Yasmin, because her name starts with a Y too. Yeah. But anyway, we'll go with, I'm just going to say Yasmin. I'm going to make the executive decision, but I'll give you the next one.
I don't really want to hear about these executive decisions.
Okay, all right. So anyway, we actually, I had a girl come up to me, which happens, right? I always say though that whenever we go out, the two types of people that will come up to me are like Indian or Pakistani guys that are like, oh dude, you're so jacked, like what's your workout? Or fat girls, which is probably not our target demographic / audience.
Not the target audience for sure.
We've certainly done worse, I guess, but we could do better. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, this girl came up to me. Is
it a turn on to get approached? Like, do you think it's hot when a girl approaches you, or would you prefer to be the approacher?
No, I mean it's definitely. I think it's hot when Pakistani and Indian guys approach me.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
No, I
knew it all along.
Yeah. No, I don't discriminate, but
this is the episode where he comes out of the closet.
Yeah, episode 3 is where I come out. No, I mean I would say like of the girls that have come to me, the one thing I'll say is like if they're like a 5 or like a 4, and I'm like, you are out of my league in like they're
swinging above their
weight. They're punching above their weight right now.
Yeah. I
at least feel good in the sense of like, you know what, like I'll talk to her. Like she was like ballsy enough that like she wanted to come talk to me.
And I would say if I were to rate her on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely say she was higher than a 4.
Yeah. Oh no, this girl was at least like
she was like a 7 and a half.
Yeah.
She gets extra points because her personality was great. Really, really just.
She was pretty drunk, so very talkative too.
Yeah, it's fine. Everyone, we love a good yapper. I'm a yapper when I'm drunk.
So she came up to me. We actually talked for like an hour because she basically came up, said, "Hey, you're really cute," and then walked away. And I was like, "That's crazy."
She left you wanting more.
Yeah, which I did want more.
Goated strategy, ladies.
It is a goated strategy. I was talking to another girl, not to replace you or anything. That could never happen, but. I was talking to another...
What other girl were you talking to?
I was talking to another girl, and she was like, a move that more guys should do is going up to a girl and being like, hey, you have a really nice dress on. Or like, hey, you have a really pretty dress. Or like, hey, I really like your outfit. And then just sort of like walking off. Now, if you're an ugly dude, you're probably not going to get any response back. But maybe if you're like cute, like this girl was cute and came up to me and said I was cute and kind of walked off, like it makes you... want to like get more. You're almost like an addict right away.
Was this Lala?
No, this was her name. We're just gonna call her Olive.
Okay.
But she lives in my building.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's great and she's pretty smart about that stuff. So anyway.
Interesting strategy. It seems effective. I mean, yeah. It worked on him.
It worked on me, but I think most things could probably work on me if you're a cute girl.
I would say I think most men would agree with that. I think as a girl, if a guy is physically attracted to you, there's not really anything you could couldn't do. I mean,
you could have some icks for sure. Like I think
there's ways to fuck it up, but like it is objectively, if the guy is already physically attracted, they've seen you and they're like, oh, that chick's cute.
Yeah. I'll entertain it.
What do you really need?
Who am I to say no?
Like, you can kind of do anything at that point.
Okay, maybe not anything. Well, mass murder of civilizations.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you could. Yeah, I mean,
I'd probably still hit, but like.
You heard that here, ladies.
No. We don't condone that. But anyway, so yeah, we talked for an hour. Now, I think an interesting part of that was also after we got to Boss Bar after St. Patrick's. She actually texted me and was like, hey, like what was the next bar you went to? Because they were debating between Joy and Boss Bar. And they actually went to Joy. Or I'm sorry, they went to Boss Bar. Which was interesting.
I don't remember that.
So she followed us basically to the next bar after like an hour or something.
Okay. Did you end up seeing her at Boss Bar?
Yeah, I saw her at Boss Bar. She came up to me again.
Okay.
Because also, like, you know, she texted me, she's cute. Like, I didn't want to just like ignore her.
Sure.
And but it was a stickier.
Was I at Boss Bar at that point?
Yeah, you were at Boss Bar. I just don't think you saw her because we talked for like a few minutes. But I was like, hey, listen, like, I'm with my good friends who I haven't seen in a while. They were like doing like med school matching, so this was like a big kind of time for them. This was like a few days before they found out, so everybody was getting blacked out, and I didn't want to like talk to this girl who I might not see again over having like a great St. Patrick's Day weekend and having good content for the podcast.
I never see Alec at the bars. As soon as Alec gets to the bars, he beelines.
I know.
In the opposite direction of
Well, it's not like that, but I am very type A.
Tries his very hardest to ignore me the whole night.
To be fair, I did that with my last ex-girlfriend, Ketamine, as well, where I would just kind of like go and hang out with my own friends and like let her fend for herself, which she did not like in the beginning.
I'm sure she didn't if she didn't know everyone.
Yeah, I agree. She kind of like knew everybody in the sense of like she knew their names and faces maybe, but like she wasn't like close
when
enough.
You're not close with them.
Yeah, you're not close with them. So
at least with me, I know these people well enough where I can carry on conversation. But every now and then, sometimes I want some quality time with my friend Alec at the bar, and I sometimes try to do that, and he runs off.
Yeah, he scurries away. So that happened. So that was good. But anyway. So we went to Boss Bar. Where did we go after that?
I went to headquarters with Jonah and his friend.
Okay.
And we met. So by the end of Boss Bar, I'm starting to lose stamina. It's been a long weekend.
We're like, what, 3 hours in?
I'm I'm old and not built for day drinking anymore. I thought I would be because I feel like I drink relatively often. So I'm thinking, all right, I can do this. I can start drinking at 12 and make it the whole evening.
Yeah.
We get to headquarters. I'm with Jonah and his friend. And the only reason we went to this bar was because Jonah's friend wanted to meet up with a girl that he knew. Which is always a good entry point, right? I'm here to support all my guy friends and their endeavors in getting laid. Happy to see it. Happy to help out and give my contributions where I can. I shit you not. We go up to them. It's two girls, pretty girls.
That's good.
And they have to be two of the dumbest people I have ever listened to.
Oh no.
I mean, I was standing there.
Yeah.
Drunk, tired. I felt like I was dreaming. Like, I feel like you see that shit in like movies when they like typecast a stereotypical dumb person. Yeah. They laughed exactly like
oh yeah, wow, just what like a wife.
Blink, like you can just tell if you knocked on their heads, it would echo.
Yeah.
Nothing there. And the craziest part about it was I'm looking at this like Jonah's friend talking, and he is eating it up. He's like so like focused on whatever they're like, oh yeah, like I did this, and then I spelled the ABCs the other day and read Dr. Seuss, and he's like, that's impressive. So cool.
Yeah, that's a trendsetter right there.
And I mean, granted, she was they
like
were
how
both,
cute. How cute are we talking? Because there's a cute to smartness scale.
I thought of you when I saw the one girl because
really?
I was like, this is like, I think if you were to have seen her, you would have been attracted to her.
Oh, I'm sure I would have.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't very tall either.
Nice.
She was just very like nice, like nicely built, pretty girl. Just nothing up here.
So let me ask you something with this situation. You know, like girls and guys, like when guys talk about girls in a bad way, which we would never do, other than in a hypothetical situation of like of like tits or ass. What's the male equivalent to that?
Arms.
Arms to what though? Like if you're gonna have to choose like one body part,
arms
like
or abs, I would say.
Okay.
I think those are the two big things. Like if I were to like be talking to a girl about body, would be like, would you prefer like a guy with nice arms or like nice abs?
Yeah, that seems.
I'm an arm gal.
That seems much more wholesome.
For anyone watching, you have nice big arms.
Hit up Julia's line.
I have other requirements.
Yeah,
but it's good looks. Like some veins, like right there.
That seems a lot more wholesome.
Big capped shoulders. Well, because women don't objectify men. I think.
Oh, Jesus.
I think
there it is.
It's a lot more wholesome because I think when girls look at guys, they're not looking at it in such a sexualized way. Whereas I think when guys look at an attraction to a girl, they're looking at it in more of a sexual way.
Yeah.
Because I think men generally are more like sex forward in their thinking.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes sense that that's what it is.
I agree. I feel like most, honestly, like even there's always an in with guys because guys think relatively similarly, I think. And if I ask like, are you a tits or ass guy, just to like get the conversation going with somebody I like don't really know,
every man will answer that question.
Yeah, they'll answer it. They love that shit, and like I love it too. Like what's there not to talk about? So when a guy, I
will not date a man that entertains that question.
Okay, well I've talked to guys that don't entertain that question, and I'm like, all right, bro, I was just like, you're kind of a pussy for not answering that.
Those are the type of people I date.
Yeah.
Men that don't fucking entertain that kind of
question. Well, it's like, I feel like they're like bullshitting, right? Like no guy that's
I think it's appropriate for, especially if it's someone you don't know, to not want to talk about that kind of stuff. Like I think that's an objectively weird opening question.
I agree. It depends on the person though. If it's like a friend's friend where I know my buddies are like at least like chill and like women and want to talk about that stuff, then the friend's friend is probably going to be a similar personality to myself versus like I wouldn't go up to some random guy at like the office and be like, hey, what's up, dude? Like, come on, let's be real.
I would say you talk about women more than the average man.
Okay, that's crazy.
I don't think it is.
That's a crazy topic.
I'm gonna do a poll with all our friends because I've had a couple of our guy friends say this agree with me.
Okay, first of all, my guy friends would never snitch on me like that, so that's cap.
It doesn't really matter because you tell me everything you tell your guy friends, so there's really nothing to snitch. I mean, they could be like, "Oh, Alec did that." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I heard
Alec
about that
is
shit
a saint who only cares about. Well, listen, I'm a nice guy though. Just because you asked that question doesn't make you an asshole.
I don't think it makes you an asshole. I think it makes you immature.
That's crazy. My own podcast co-host is just ratting on me right now.
I'm not saying you're immature as a rule. I'm saying that question specifically is a weird. It's like there's really nothing better to talk about other than like.
It is a great topic to talk about. You need
somebody. Like I feel like the first thing I ask pretty much anyone.
What's your name?
Yeah, what's your name?
Yeah.
Usually like, oh, where are you from?
Yeah, we skip over that.
And like maybe like what do you do for work?
Right.
I was chatting with one of my girlfriends yesterday. We've met a couple times. I met her through one of my guy friends. And we were just like we talked about hobbies, like just and then like after a couple drinks then we started getting into the nitty-gritty. But
what kind of cock size do you like?
Exactly. You know, those kind of wholesome material. But you gotta like I feel like girls ease into it. You got to decide like what to like. I feel like it takes me at least a little bit of time to decide like how fucking unhinged can I be?
Right. And I think it's the same thing with guys. Like I wouldn't say my first question is like, hey, like I'm John. What's your name? I'm like, John. Fuck your name.
But it's honestly pretty close to that because I remember we were at a pregame a few weeks ago, and this.
I don't even know where you're going with this.
Basically, like we get into this pregame, and Alec is all riled because he just met a stripper.
Yeah, we talked about that on the last podcast. And so we immediately
episode. we go up to this guy, and like Alec goes like, "Yeah, hey, my name's Alec," and he's like, "Would you fuck a stripper?" Like pretty much the first fucking question. I'm like, Alec, can you have one singular
Alec,
conversation?
Read the room, please. Come on.
Well, the guy looked wildly uncomfortable. He was literally sitting there
That's not true.
Yes, he did.
Yes. Which one was he?
I don't fucking remember how to describe it.
I know that I asked that question like out loud, and somebody else, like another dude, responded in a very positive way.
Maybe there was one guy, but there was one guy you were talking to that was definitely like, what kind of question is this?
Yeah, that guy sounds like a fucking pussy. Or a really nice guy that I just probably wouldn't get along with that well. I don't know.
Alec
He's like, Alec, you're a misogynistic piece of shit. I'm asking a genuine question. Would you date a stripper?
Yeah.
I think that's a thought-provoking question.
I think it's a thought-provoking question that maybe you just don't ask people the first time you meet them. But that's me personally.
Yeah. To be fair, I haven't asked.
Different strokes for different folks.
I haven't heard Julia ask anybody, would you date a stripper? Which maybe you should be doing a little bit more on asking those types of thought-provoking questions.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Probably won't.
You can write that one down if you want.
I might write it down for later.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to do that. But yeah, I think you definitely.
I think you're a piece of shit. Is what she's gonna say.
No, he's not a piece of shit. He's just really fucking annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
but it's okay. I'm stuck. I was talking to my girlfriend. Let's call her Kendall.
Which one is this again? Does her name start with a K?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. I don't know.
Like, you know who I'm talking about.
Okay, the Russian lawyer?
No.
That one starts with a C.
The hotels.
Oh, like yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I was chatting.
All right.
I was
I would have done like caramel. Just saying.
Okay, fine.
Just because you're.
Why don't you come up with the code?
All right, maybe I will.
Want to be the decision maker on fucking everything.
If I'm doing well on it, all right, caramel.
You're not doing well. You're just wanting to make decisions.
No, I just want the names to be like understandable.
He wants to feel like
myself.
yeah, I know.
Right? I know. Well, tell me that caramel wasn't a better name than Kendall.
Caramel. Was chatting with her, and we were talking about the friendship rule. I don't know if anybody knows this, but apparently there's research that if you have been friends with someone for 7 years or longer,
which is us,
it's pretty much guaranteed almost that you're going to be like probably friends for life.
Oh, fuck me.
Right. That's what I told her too. I was like, she's like, yeah, like how long have you known Alec? And I was like, too fucking long.
I'm going to kill myself pretty soon.
I'm like an unnecessary amount of time.
Yeah.
And she was like, yes, you guys are probably going to be like friends forever. I'm like, God save us all.
Please, no.
This man is so fucking annoying. But I do kind of tell myself that every time he's like he really pisses me off. I'm like, fuck, I'm kind of stuck with him at this point. Because I'm not going to try to find another friend that like I'm as comfortable with as someone I've known for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
You're kind of stuck. So I don't think it's really anything to do with anything other than like you kind of just realize you're like, well, I'm not going to find much better.
No, you definitely couldn't even if you looked. I mean, that's me though. I don't know. I think
that goes the same for you.
With you?
Yeah. What better friend are you gonna find? He talks to me about like some people in his, like, you know, like in the past, obviously, that have done him pretty dirty. And you want to know who hasn't done him dirty? Me.
Julia. Yeah.
I've stuck through it all. Yeah. Every single goddamn annoying phase in this man's life.
There haven't been that many.
Let's define not many. Let's list them out.
Oh man.
All the fun little phases he goes through. And I feel like, you know, he changes up his annoying qualities. I feel like there's a new one every week.
Yeah, well usually it's like a crash out phase and then like a happy phase. And it pretty much just switches between those, and like a schizophrenic
and he's squirrely in both of the phases. And it's kind of just
you just gotta roll with the punches at that point.
You really do. It's kind of like you improv the friendship a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's
where are we going with this? So tits or ass. So you don't like how many drinks would it take for you to like be like, girl, like how big of a dick does he need? Or like how much money does he need? Or what's the ratio with that?
Depends on the scenario. I think probably like 2 or 3. But that's like like I get like I'm a lightweight.
You'll talk about it anyway.
I'll talk about it sober. I don't mind asking outlandish questions. I feel like I just like sometimes like I you know you have to read the room a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I don't do that.
But I mean at a bar, if I'm just talking to girls, like 2 or 3 drinks, I'll say literally whatever the fuck pops into my head.
Yeah. I don't think I read the room as well, which is
you don't.
But listen, that's just kind of like I'm going to ask any question that comes to my mind to anybody as long as it's not like
disrespectful.
Yeah, like I don't think like
I would say you're not a disrespectful person. I feel like not like in any way.
Yeah.
And if people think you're disrespectful, you're obviously not
They're the problem.
You're not coming from that place. You're not trying to intentionally hurt anyone or make anyone feel bad. I think you literally just like you do. You say literally whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. You don't really think about the scenario. And that's one of those things where you either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
And I, for whatever reason, probably because I would probably say I'm pretty similar to that as well.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that energy.
Right.
But I think there's some people that I think reserved people, like truly, truly reserved people sometimes have trouble.
But I feel like I can get a sense of like how that, like if it's somebody like random, I'm definitely playing my cards slowly.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like you're also like self-aware enough to be like, okay, this person is like a new person who I haven't met before. I'm not just going to go out and be like, hey, like, how much sex do you have a week? Like,
yeah. Or do you like fucking strippers?
Yeah. Or dating. Listen, we're nice guys too.
You want to ease into.
I get it. Listen, it's like a relationship. You got to kind of go in slow.
You got to make sure they don't.
You love her on the second date.
Exactly. Well, and it's also, I think with dating, at least for me, I try to. I'm obviously always very honest on dates.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to know all of my crazy until they're
locked in.
Yeah, exactly. There's like certain levels of crazy I have to like kind of ease in as they get more attached.
Yeah.
Because the more attached they are, the less likely they're going to leave me for my crazy qualities.
Of course.
And I'm not in general a crazy person.
No, but like not you.
Like every person.
Yeah.
I have certain qualities that might be construed as annoying. So
no, not you.
So you got to make sure they like you enough where when you start exhibiting these
crazy
construed
tendencies,
annoying
schizophrenic,
qualities,
one might say, but
schizophrenic is fucking aggressive.
Oh, okay.
That's an aggressive take.
That is an aggressive one. I'll stand by it.
But see, like the thing is as a friend, Alec is locked in. At this point, there's, I mean, beyond like the actual like truly shitty things that you would do to a friend, which I would never do. Like he's locked in.
Which
he's
is
not
nothing.
Gonna fucking do shit. These people watch me talk to Alec at the bars and they're like, "You're insane." And
You're
I'm like,
deranged.
what are they gonna do? Like, I'm like, what is he gonna do? Stop talking to me?
No, not
it's the same shit when I get mad at him and people are like, "Sorry, he did that," and I'm like, whatever. It's fine. I'm gonna talk to him in 5 minutes. Like it's literally like that's just. But it's the same thing with relationships. You got to get them locked in before you show them like all of your crazy.
Right. I agree. What's like a crazy thing that you would bring up on, let's say, like third, fourth, like fifth date, maybe fifth, because you've hung out 5 times at that point.
Like something crazy about myself?
Yeah, or do you just start talking a little bit more unfiltered?
I think it's like I definitely get more unfiltered. I would say depending on the person, I can pretty much gauge if a guy is going to think my unfilteredness is funny. And I would say most guys do. Like when I go on dates, I can get men cackling. Like pretty much immediately.
Yeah, you're a funny person.
Because I think most guys aren't as like they're just not easily offended. Like they like when you bust their balls. They like when you say funny, like kind of like outlandish stuff.
Yeah. And
maybe like I'll sometimes just for the fun of it, I'll kind of try to test the waters to see like how actually just like what like cracky shit I can say. Especially if like I know a guy is attracted to me.
Yeah.
Just like what stupid shit can I say? And are they still gonna fucking eat it up? And I'm sure part of it too is like the guys, I mean, especially the guys that don't care that much. They just want to get laid. Yeah. You could say literally anything to a guy that like wants to sleep with you.
He's like, you are so funny.
And I'm like, I'm from Japan.
Yeah.
And they're like, yep.
I'm a Japanese plumber. And you're like, absolutely.
Checks out.
That's what you're going to talk. You're going to hear that on the second podcast. That's a shout out to that one.
Yeah.
Which we're uploading on Monday.
So if you skipped episodes, you're missing out.
Yeah. I had such a good topic to just talk about, and I totally lost it after you said Japanese plumber.
Shit, that's the worst.
I was gonna talk about. I was gonna talk about ages, right? So
like age range,
age gaps. Yeah, like I feel like you're 25, I'm 24. I feel like at this time, we're in like such a perfect. Well, at least I feel like I'm in a perfect age range where I can kind of go like. I can probably go up, like, I don't even think I have, like, a limit. Like, I could hang out with, like, a 45-year-old woman and not really, like, give a fuck if she's cute. And I could also hang out with, like, well, legally, I could technically hang out with an 18-year-old. But we'll hang out with 21-year-olds for the time being because we're mature adults here.
I think my rule, generally, is if you cannot legally buy me a drink, you cannot date me.
Well, what's the oldest that you would like go on a date with?
Go on a date with? I would say, so I really do try not to go on dates unless I'm like seriously considering like wanting to get to know this person and seeing if there's someone I'd want to like date seriously.
Yeah.
Not that I necessarily think it will be, but it's just someone I would entertain.
Yeah.
So for that age range, I would say I'm not super interested in going much older than like 30, 31.
Okay.
I would say like absolute oldest, 35. The guy better be fucking awesome. Because that's a pretty, like, to me, that's a pretty large, like, age gap. Like, I feel like you're in pretty different places at 35 versus, like, my age. Because then there's also, like, the fear of, like, oh, like, how quickly are they going to want to settle down?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes with age gaps, it's a little bit, it can be beneficial because I do think that girls generally want to settle down a little earlier than men.
Yeah.
And that's partially to do, like, biologically, like, if you want to have children biologically, that timeline starts speeding up. as you reach your 30s.
Yeah.
I think for like just hooking up, I really don't have an age range. If you're physically attractive, I do not care what age you are. That literally means nothing to me.
I feel like I'm the same way. Like that girl that we talked about, Yasmin from St. Patrick's Day. Like I've hung out with her twice now, and she's 30, and like I think most girls that are older than me, like let's say, like I'm seeing two girls right now, and like one's 27 and one's 30, and both of them have been like, I've never really like dated or like flirted around or whatever, like hooked up with a guy that's like way younger than me.
I would say that's common for women to like go a little older.
Yeah, they go older, which is interesting just because I'm like, well, like I don't feel weird about it. And like I think once they get to know me a little bit, because I do feel like I have certain things, like I feel like an average 24-year-old doesn't have like a nice like structured job, like a nice apartment, like stuff like
you're
very much going for them.
You're ahead of the curve in terms of like job, financial stability.
Yeah, so
I would say we're both in a very decent place in that respect. Like, we're employed.
Yeah, I agree. We're employed, so we're
not revealing anything else, but we are employed.
Thank God we're employed. Probably not after this episode, but I will say,
don't put that energy out there. I like my job.
Yeah, but she's 30, and honestly, like I don't mind it at all. And part of it that I don't mind is like because she's 30, I know that we're not gonna like. I don't know if she knows. I'm assuming she knows that like we're not gonna like long term like get married. I mean, like by the time I'm like 28 or 29 or 30 even, and I want to like settle down, like she's not gonna want to do that. She's probably gonna find somebody who's like a little bit older. Like she has a nice job, nice like stuff going for her, which is why I like her enough to go on like. Take her on a date, which I feel like I don't usually do.
Totally fair to want to casually date someone. Yeah. And I think in that case, why would age matter until, why does it matter at that point?
Yeah.
Age, at that point, if you're attracted to the person, who cares how old they are? If you know it's not going anywhere and you just want to have fun, have fun with whoever. I think there should be at least a little bit of age restriction on the lower end.
Yeah.
Personally.
How many dudes do you think you could casually date in in a setting? Just like could you like handle like texting 5 dudes at the same time and like going on dates?
Theoretically, yes. Okay. Executing, I don't think I would hate it. Like I just think that would be it would be a pain in the ass. Because I would say like most guys that are genuinely interested or like want to hang out at least once a week.
Yeah.
Trying to hang out with somebody once a week times 5 is 5 days out of the fucking week.
Yep.
I also
plenty of content though.
Plenty of content, but I mean, fuck, like you don't have time. That's a full-time job right there.
Yeah, it is.
And I think there's like it's ironic we obviously talk about all our going out adventures. I'm actually like I am a huge advocate for staying in. I love like if I like
yeah, you lost me.
If somebody tells I know I've lost you. If I am in a scenario where like I don't have plans, I will happily sit on my couch, glass of wine, book, and like I consider that like an excellent night. Or like take out, take a nice shower, like maybe a little face mask, eye brightening shit, whatever. The ladies know. That's like phenomenal to me. So like to have to like be going out constantly with like 5 different people just it's stressful.
Yeah, I mean
maybe 2. I think 2 is a good number.
Yeah. I feel like if I had to like I feel like I've talked to like 5 girls at the same time before. Maybe not like casual, like maybe not like actively hooking up with each one, but like talking to 5, and it is like legitimately a full-time job talking
you also
to
have
them.
to keep track and make sure you're not texting one person like you're supposed to text the other person.
I've 100% texted one girl being like, oh, you're from Chicago, right? And she's like, no, I'm from fucking Boston. And I'm like,
whoops, wrong bitch.
Yeah. And it was like, exactly. I just mixed these names up at a certain point.
Like, it's like, must be, if the girl was smart, she would have been like, must have been your other girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she would have been correct.
No benefit for that, though. But yeah, I think 2 or 3 is a good safe spot. 3 is even like,
3 is pushing it, I
mean, 3 is pushing it. I'm doing hard. 2 right now where I'm like actively going on like dates with them and hanging out with them and stuff. And like, I'm also not even really working right now, so that's why I have the time to do this.
It's also, if you think about it, okay, so you're dating casually 2 people, so that's 2 days out of your week, I guess, if you're hanging out. If, let's say, like, I would say, like, if you're casually dating someone once a week is pretty, I think.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Appropriate.
So two nights out of your week is taken for the 2 dates you go on with your situationships. You also want to spend time with your friends. That's at least another day of your week.
Yeah.
Plus just like anything else that randomly comes up. I mean, like that's
a full,
you're going out full time, 9 to 5, except it's more like.
From a guy's perspective, it's also expensive. Like if you're going on 3 days, I mean, I don't even think
do you always pay?
I would say for now, yeah. And part of it's because like, I feel like if I'm dating a girl or if I've been seeing her for like longer than I've been seeing these girls, I'm more comfortable with like bringing up like, hey, you know, I can't be like paying for dinner and the Ubers and everything. Like I just don't want like a girl who's gonna like mooch off of me in that sense. But I will say like I've only got like I'm taking this 30-year-old Latina to dinner tonight and I'm gonna pay for it. But I was thinking about bringing up like, hey, I'm gonna Uber to her apartment, and it'd be nice if like she Ubered us there and back.
Like offered the Uber. I feel like that's something and
I don't think it's unreasonable.
I think that I will say, first date, I think the guy should pay for pretty much everything. I will always insist on trying to pay for something. Yeah. Or like sometimes what I'll do is I'll be like, they pay at the first place, I'll buy a round at the next place. I've had guys that won't even let me do that.
Yeah. So those guys are simps.
I think that that's attractive in a way because I think there are just like a lot of men like to provide.
I mean, shit, yeah, I like getting shit for free too.
I think it's fair to want to provide. Obviously, it's extremely expensive. So I feel like the two main things with me and my expectations with paying is, one, I will never judge if we're not going to like some uber expensive place that's really fancy, even bar wise. Like if a guy says, hey, like I have this little dive bar I really love going to, let's go there, I'm happy as a clam. And especially because it's a little lower stakes, not as intimate, which I think is good for a first date.
So what if, okay, now here's a question, because we technically already went on a first date to a restaurant / bar that we just like, we sat at the bar, we got like 2 drinks each and an appetizer or 2. So I'd qualify that as like already our first date.
Yeah,
then
I
we
agree.
went to the bar arcade where I also paid for everything. And so for this third one, we're like legitimately going to like, this is going to be like, you know, more expensive dinner, which is fine because she's cute and she's fun to talk to and I'm happy to like spend the money on it. But it would be nice if like she starts to like contribute, even just like the Ubers is fine with me. But again, we're not going to date. So that's kind of the tough thing is like, if I was dating her, I would tell her this, and I still probably will just be like, hey, do you want to like grab the Ubers or something? But because it's like a casual thing right now, you're sort of like more obligated to like pay because you're not the one who's like, you're just not dating, so it doesn't feel more like 50-50.
Yeah. I think it's like really just depends on the person. Yeah. I know guys that are like, I don't think a girl should pay for anything ever.
Yeah.
And I know guys that, you know, like want to pay, but I think once the relationship, I think for me, if I start seriously seeing someone, like when it becomes a relationship, that's when I start feeling more inclined to start paying for things.
Yeah.
Like I like the idea of if I have a boyfriend, like taking them out to eat. I've done that, like with my last.
What a high value woman.
With my last boyfriend, he had like paid for an Uber to come to where I was, which was an objectively expensive Uber.
Yeah.
So when we went to dinner, I treated, and it was like not cheap. It was, you know, we had a few drinks, like we shared a bunch of appetizers, and I put my card down. He obviously was like, no, you don't have to do that. I'm like, no, let me. Like you came all the way down here. Or like birthdays, anything, like if I'm celebrating my significant other, whatever, like I want to pay. But I would say probably in most relationships, it's probably like 80-20, like who pays?
Yeah.
At least with like dinners and dates and stuff. Other things, I mean, like 50-50 is totally fine. Like once you're living with someone, going 50-50 on rent and bills and all those things, yeah. I think that's I'm like obviously happy to do something like that. But I would say with dates, it's probably, I'm sure like a pretty normal relationship is like 80-20.
Okay.
Like man, 80.
Yeah.
20.
What are your thoughts on people clapping when the plane lands?
If it's a really good landing, I don't know. Like
10 out of 10
every now and then,
landing?
like those, like there are some landings where it's so smooth, no bumpiness,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you kind of just like, it's a big ass fucking honker plane that this little dude is like has to control and make sure we land and like don't fucking blow up. So like, am I gonna clap? Probably not. But objectively, if it's a great landing and people start clapping, I'm kind of
you might add in, right?
Add
Give it a little clap back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think doing it every time is a little overkill.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is. It's an impressive and dangerous job, obviously, and you are responsible for a lot of passengers getting from point A to point B in the air, very high up. So,
yeah.
And there's been a lot of plane crashes lately. It's been making me not want to get on fucking planes. I'm literally like, I don't know if I'm going to travel this year because like every other fucking news, it's like, oh, plane crash, plane exploded, plane disappeared from the face of the planet. I'm like, hell no.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like part of one of those like docuseries where it's like the plane disappeared and like landed and it was 5 years later. Like, fuck no.
No, I get that. What I feel like with these plane crashes that are going on right now, it makes me want to like get out of my seat and give the guy a firm handshake. Give him a
kiss on the cheek.
Give him a kiss on the lips, maybe. I don't know.
You know what? After all the plane crashes I've been hearing, pilot gets me from point A to point B and I'm alive. He might get a kiss on the lips.
I might fuck him.
And I'm not going to tell you what lips I'm talking about. No, I at least a firm handshake for sure.
Yeah. Firm hand job?
Maybe. I don't know. Like maybe even like a little twist in there too.
Yeah.
If they fly it really well
if
and
they
land smoothly.
Yeah.
I might join the Mile High Club.
Can you join the Mile High Club with a pilot?
Well, I think it's on autopilot a lot of the times.
Yeah.
How
is that a new
cool would that be to suck dick?
Oh hell no!
On a plane, but you're in the cockpit.
Oh,
because you're sucking the pilot's dick.
Cock, yeah. I think that's where they got the name.
That's an OnlyFans video that somebody needs to make. Even if it's just fake, like
Julia might need to monetize on this right now. Do we know any pilots?
I actually do know one.
Does he have a cockpit?
I mean, when he flies the plane, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I know a pilot. We went on one date.
Interesting.
But it didn't
it didn't pan out.
Go well.
Yeah. It crashed and burned.
Yeah, I feel bad delving more information on that specific
guy.
But yeah, I do know a pilot. He was very cute guy.
I wish there was more female pilots. Whenever I hear these guys on the intercom, I'm like, yeah, this is like a trustworthy man. Like we seem like we're in safe hands. But I will say, if it was like a really like hot,
I was like, we need, of course.
Okay, well, no, sorry. If it was really ugly,
you just ruin it. Like, oh, like if it's a male pilot, you can just tell you trust her. But if it was a hot chick, that'd be fun. Like you,
I mean, that'd be fun. Yeah, that would be fun.
I fear for when we get more female viewers because they're gonna hate you.
Ladies, please don't hate me. I love all women equally. I think you're all great.
Would you say that you're nicer to girls that you're attracted to versus girls that you're not?
Well, that's a stupid question. I mean, do you think you're not nicer to guys you're attracted to?
I'm flirtier with them.
You're probably nicer too, just from the osmosis of being flirty.
I don't know. I disagree with that.
I think you know. You would say that you're not more nice. I think any person on this planet is nicer to people that they're more attracted to.
I'm equally nice to all men.
Yeah.
But I flirt with men that I'm attracted to. And my flirtiness is different from just my general decency. I feel like with men, it's very different. Like, they like sometimes just don't have decency for people they're not attracted to. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying that is a thing.
I'm trying to think how I would go about that. This is a sticky navigation system to have to go through.
Like a really ugly bitch comes up to you.
Yeah.
And then right next to her is a really beautiful girl.
Yeah.
You talking to them the same?
You're both. Oh yeah, if I'm trying to have sex with the cute one, then yeah, I'm talking to them the same.
All right. So it's maybe that was a bad question.
That might have been the greatest example you could have came up with.
I mean, obviously that's not happening, but
yeah, that would never happen.
Yeah. Do we have I think we were gonna try to answer some viewer questions. We have some viewers that wanted to hear our take on a couple things.
For some reason, they wanted our take on it.
If you're watching and you think you would like to hear our wow,
you can't speak anymore.
If you want to hear our take on something that you're curious about, leave a question in the comments, and we will talk about it.
We are on
There's
Apple
not
Music,
really, we're on
Spotify,
YouTube,
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah. You can ask us anywhere. DM us.
Ask us anything, or
there's not really there's not really a topic that's
pigeon mail. We'll take that too.
Yeah.
Snail mail.
Yeah.
We'd love that.
Email, whatever you want.
Yeah.
I would say there's not really a topic that's off limits. We'll talk about anything. I mean, like,
there's no limit.
Yeah.
You give me the craziest question you can come up with. I'll give you the craziest answer I can come up with.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. So let's see, what questions do we have?
Well, somebody was asking about the let's see, and we have such a long list of questions to answer, so
we couldn't possibly answer them all here, but we're gonna hit a few.
Yeah, let's see here. This would have been a really good thing to have ready before we started this, but okay. I mean, this is gonna be tough because you're a little biased because you vape, but I would say, actually, let's start with this one. Would you rather a guy last 1 minute or an hour, and there's no in between? I feel like
1 minute.
Really?
I'm not fucking doing that shit for an hour. I'll get bored.
Oh my! I feel like an hour goes by quickly. No.
No, it doesn't.
No. Okay.
With a man, like, no. Here's the thing, like, honesty time, it starts to hurt after a while. So, like, and I don't, maybe not everybody relates to that. Maybe there's some girls where that doesn't happen. But for me personally, it fucking starts to hurt. And I also get bored. I don't want to really be, like if we're talking about, like, sex, I don't really want to be doing
sex.
I don't want to be, like, in, like actually doing sex.
Yeah.
It's such a weird, having sex for an hour. No. I'd rather it just be a minute. I don't want to be doing anything sexual for, like, an hour, honestly. Like, sometimes I do, but, like, that's just, like, no. I would say a minute.
I would say an hour, but I guess I don't want to do it for an hour either, though.
Exactly, that's the point. Like, yeah.
But a minute it's not enough enjoyment at that point. I mean, it's, like, good for me. I could probably finish in a minute if I tried.
Yeah, or if I didn't try. I don't think.
Even if I tried not to.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, 45 seconds. I almost got there.
A new record. Listen, what am I, Superman?
What was that?
What am I, Superman?
Yeah. Sure.
Superman.
Right. So I think we're on two sides. So he's an hour, I'm a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I would if it's purely for my benefit, then in a minute, yeah, I'd just do a minute. But, like, because an hour is a long time too.
See, and then this is good. He's thinking about the other person.
Yeah,
sweet of him.
I am. I'm a giver, not a taker. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yep.
Exactly. You heard it here first.
You heard it here on Monday Moans.
What else did our Moaner gang ask us? Let's see. Should body count matter in relationships, or is that insecure behavior? I know you have a controversially hot take on this.
It is not a controversially hot take.
Right.
The only answer is that it doesn't fucking matter. And for any of you ladies that go out on dates, if a man asks you your fucking body count on any date, really,
shoot them on sight.
I think the only answer is you say you're a virgin or it's 500. Stupid questions deserve stupid answers. It's none of their goddamn business what your body count is. Who the fuck cares? And if they do care, then they are kind of insecure bitches. Because the problem is that most of the men that care about your body count have a high body count too. What's the goddamn difference? Nothing.
Well, one is a guy and one is a girl.
Exactly. There's no difference.
There's a difference genetically and gender for now. I don't know. Maybe
there's no difference in a guy having a body count and a girl having a high body count. It is the same thing. It is a high body count. And anybody who says otherwise is genuinely stupid. Now, at the end of the day, I can't stop somebody from caring about it.
Can you see a guy's perspective from it or no?
No. The only perspective, if any guy has a perspective that body count matters when they have a high body count. It's one thing if it's a guy that doesn't sleep around, doesn't really do much of anything, and goes, I don't want to be with somebody that slept around.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Totally fair. I would respect that answer. The problem is that most of the men that are bugged by a high body count have a high body count themselves. At that point, you can't say shit. There's no perspective at that point. You have no ground to stand on. Because if you're sleeping around, why did you sleep around then? If you think it's so gross, why the fuck are you doing it, you know?
No, what if you don't think it's gross? You just think it's, well, let me think about that. I probably should have had a good answer. You know, this is one of those things where you have to be like a fucking vascular surgeon. You have to be very intricate with your incisions here, because one wrong word or opinion might just
because the problem is if your answer isn't it doesn't matter, then if you're thinking it needs to be vascular, you have to be careful. At the end of the day, you understand why it's kind of fucked that people think that way. Well, that's kind of where it is.
What if it's
you have to choose your words carefully.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like I've had, like, I don't know if I would. I mean, it's tough. Like if it came up right away. I mean, listen, if my girlfriend told me like a year in, we were talking about it, and she's like, I have a body count of like 100. I mean, what's a guy to do at that point? Like, you're probably not going to break up with her. But that would, I mean, shit, I do not want to realize that a year in. But even,
I think that's the whole thing, is like, you just might as well not even ask about it. Who cares?
No, you should. Well,
I think the question just doesn't matter. Like, why would you ask me that? Why? It's no one's business. Who, like, what anybody, it's no girl's business what your body count is, just like it's no guy's business what my body count is. And if a guy asks me that, I'll probably answer truthfully, but I'm going to be turned off at that point, even if they don't care. It's such an odd question to ask. So the only way for you to get your high body count is to be with women that also have high body counts.
Yeah, that makes sense. But then what if I want to like cash in on like a low body count girl after?
I mean, if you want to do that, if that's genuinely important to you, that's.
I don't think I care.
There's nothing. Again, I'm not here saying that I'm going to change these people's minds, but I will say, answer to the question, yes. If you care about body count, you are insecure on.
What if it's like 500?
The likeliness that you're meeting somebody that has a body count of 500 is so low, Alec. The average body count in this country is like 7.
Yeah, we got to get our rookie numbers up. Those are crazy numbers.
So, like, if the average is 7.
How is the average 7, though? Like, that must mean that there's so many people with, like, 1 or 0.
Yeah. There's a pretty high probability that you're going to
I don't meet those girls, though. Maybe they're not a Tex and Taco.
How do you know? Do you ask every girl what their body count is?
No, I actually don't.
Exactly, because it's just not that deep.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say you're not going to meet, most people you meet are not going to have body counts above 10.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that it's more common than not.
Probably when they're older. Like, I feel like if you're 30 and you probably are more likely to have a body count of like 10 compared to like obviously when you're like 24.
Well, I actually would think you start slowing down.
Well, I feel like slow down, but like the number still slowly goes up.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's a good point.
Like, let's say you do
the more you date and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think at the end of the day, it really, really just truly doesn't matter. I think as long as the person is clean.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Okay, gentlemen, that's the answer. Who cares? I'm gonna concede here in case.
Well, I will give a warning. I think if you go on a date with a girl and ask her, at least on the first date.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Ridiculously disrespectful.
No, that's crazy.
And just none of your goddamn business. If you get into if you're thinking about getting into a relationship with this person and you want to know about their past for whatever reason, I still think that's weird.
Good luck.
A little less weird.
Yeah. No, first date's wild. Even like first
few dates.
5 dates.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I feel like if you get close enough and you're talking about it, then it like
never once talked to my ex about body counts.
Well, you might be talking about like old relationships or like college.
Didn't even talk about that. I had no reason to talk about my
You've never talked about your
No, I don't talk about my old relationships with men I'm seeing. I don't who cares? That's a whole different relationship.
You're telling me that you've never talked about like with your last ex, you've never brought up your first ex?
Nope, not once.
Okay, well that was a quicker relationship. What about your first ex and old hookups? Like these conversations come up.
So the only reason the conversation with my first college boyfriend, the only reason the conversation came up was because I had hooked up in high school with the guy that was in his frat. And I found I found out that he was in the frat because I was leaving the frat. I had stayed the night, and I bumped into this guy from my high school, and he was like, "Where the fuck are you coming from?" And I was like, "None of your goddamn business."
Oh, there we go.
And he was like, "No, like tell me." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I tell him my college boyfriend's name, and turns out that this high school friend that I had hooked up with was interviewing my boyfriend for like pledging and stuff like that. You have to like interview or whatever. And during this interview, he feels it's necessary to tell my boyfriend that we had sex in high school.
Is this like an actual boyfriend or?
Yeah. Yeah. It was my boyfriend.
What's his first letter start with?
Oh wow. Kale.
Okay.
Kale.
Okay. Interesting. Wow, that would be a fucking crazy
So he was
take.
fucking livid. And he was like, I didn't want to fucking hear about that. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This was also like this was before we were official, but like he had feelings for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was really upset about it, and that's the only reason it came up was because somebody like the guy that I had slept with mentioned it to Kale.
That's wild. I'm trying to think if I would ever. I mean,
and I got mad at him too. I like ended up messaging the
other guy,
the friend from my high school. I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, that doesn't. So what did he say?
He's like, I thought it would be funny, and I'm like, funny for who?
Yeah,
like it was funny for literally nobody other than you because now he's fucking pissed. I'm annoyed. He's like, it's not that deep. You'll be fine. I'm like, it doesn't matter about how deep it is. I'm like, you're fucking stupid. I don't know what possessed you like to do that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had an Eskimo brother that I like told, unless it's like we both know, like
I will
offhandedly.
I will never tell an Eskimo sister that we're Eskimo sisters unless I know they know, and I know they're not going to care. I like one Eskimo sister with my like really long-term relationship. I was actually friends like with a girl that he had previously hooked up with.
Yeah.
But like we were both like we just didn't care. Like we kind of just joked about it. It
what
was
if
funny.
She cared, but like she?
Like, I know she didn't.
No, I'm saying like in general, like if an Eskimo sister, like you know her, would you? And she asks you, like, did you hook up with my boyfriend? How do you navigate that? Do you deny until?
That's a tough situation because like I feel like you almost have to ask. Sometimes what I'll try to do
is that happened to me. Like
I'll try to ask the if I'm in the guy's life in any sort of way, I'll usually try to ask. I'll be like, hey, so like, how do you want me to answer this? I'll lie for you if you want me to lie.
Yeah.
But like, if you like, do you care if I'm truthful if she asks?
Yeah.
And if he is,
she probably is going to ask you to your face though.
If I am able to be truthful, I will be truthful.
Okay.
There's
but
no
what if you
point
don't know yet? Like you don't know what you're gonna say. Do you just be like no until you ask the boyfriend and then you?
I'd be like, raw. Next question. Like.
Oh hell no! That's a controversial take.
I don't know. Like that's such a hard situation because I don't want like. I would never want to put a guy that I'm friends with in a shit position, but I would never want to lie to like a girl either. Especially because like if my guy friends or like guys in my life have girlfriends, I see them as my good friends. Like I'm like I treat them as like genuinely like I look out for them at the bars. Like if like you know their boyfriends are doing something, like I'll always be with them. Like you know like I'll be a girl like a girlfriend for them.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't really want to be lying to them either. So it's like it would be a really tough situation.
Yeah, that is a shitty.
I think at that point I just have to be honest. If I don't know, I think I just have to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to lie unless I'm specifically told I need to lie.
Yeah, I get that.
Because the problem is that if I lie and then they go back to their boyfriend and then the boyfriend decides to be honest, then I look like a fucking I look like a piece of shit.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'd rather be honest.
Yeah.
And if the boyfriend wants to lie at that point, then the girl can just make the decision from there. And there's nothing I can do about it from there. But I normally just don't want to talk about it. I don't like to make it weird.
Yeah. What else happened this week? Anything exciting on your end? I know I went on like
you went on a date.
I went on 2 dates. If we're counting, we're both Latinas. I went on 1 date with one, and then the other one I went on like a bike ride, and we hung out at Lake Michigan for like an hour or two, which was nice.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
But there's like a fine line between like how many times do you see somebody where they're kind of like, hey, like I don't want to waste my time. Like, what do you do in that situation?
Like, what do you mean?
You've seen a girl 6 times or 7
and like
times.
You know it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, like you know it's not going to go far, but you still you like seeing her.
I think that depends on both parties. I think you need to probably start thinking about being honest about like where you are emotionally.
Yeah.
And like being upfront, being like, hey, I don't really see this going into something more serious, or however you want to frame it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be like, I'm still want to see you in a casual way, but if that's something you're not interested in, or if like I think in that scenario, then it's kind of on the girl to decide, do I want to continue seeing this person casually, or have I, because they also haven't like acquired feelings in that way, or if they do see you in a more serious light, then they can kind of decide, hey, I think emotionally it's just the best if we aren't intimate anymore, or we don't hook up anymore, or whatever, we stay platonic, whatever it is that you decide. I think you have to tread carefully with that situation, because that's where like feelings start to get hurt, for sure. Like you don't want to waste people's time, obviously.
Obviously. All right. Well, let's get into like 2 more segments, and then we'll see if we can wrap this up.
Yeah, this one's gonna be kind of a long
tree. One. I would say I was thinking just out loud right now, like a little segment being either like suck or duck, or like fuck or duck, meaning like would you have sex with this person or would you dip, like duck?
I think that's good. Let's do it. Do you want to do like one scenario for each of us, like a girl scenario and a guy scenario?
Yeah, I do. I mean, do you think bone or moan? Like moan sounds good, but maybe it's like a moan, like a grovel, like a moan, or like a bone. Which one do you like better? Which take?
I think fuck or duck is kind of catchy.
Okay, I like fuck or duck too. Well, we were watching The Office last night after we got back. This weekend,
you guys were. I was knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, you were out. Quick recap of this weekend, right? It was only Friday. Today's Saturday. Friday we went out with the some of our med school friends who just found out where they're going to medical programs too, for like residency for the next like 3 to 5 years.
Alec and I were in our mom and dad era at this ceremony.
Oh, I was crashing out. It was actually fucked.
But we were also in our mom and dad era, like taking video. Like I was literally like I looked like a mom, just like wait, like don't start opening your envelope yet. I need to like press record. It was so cute, but we also crashed out because then we realized that
we're losing like
some of our really good friends are not going to be in the state for much longer.
Yeah, or at least the city, which is also like it's tougher.
Hard.
If they were in the suburbs, I'd be fine with that. But like,
no, they're going like south.
Yeah, they're going goddamn bumblefuck in Illinois and then Detroit, Michigan. Which, listen, if anybody actually is from Michigan and can tell us in the comments things to do there, this guy is probably going to become Michigan's most eligible bachelor in the next 3 months or so.
True story.
So we need to get him.
Detroit, Michigan needs to get ready.
Yeah.
And also, Monday Moans is probably going to be visiting Detroit at some point. So.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a podcast on the road.
We'll do a little podcast segment in Detroit when he's there.
A 5-hour podcast, the whole drive.
Yeah, just do a whole live, like literally just like we'll put on a live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Live stream the drive.
Yeah.
You'll hear a lot of arguing. Alec and I in a car for 5 hours is just
I'm not an arguer though, I feel like.
Yeah, I argue.
I know. Yeah, as long as you can acknowledge that. So fuck or duck. So we were watching YouTube. We were watching The Office yesterday night.
Okay.
And I haven't seen it in a while. And I personally, like Steve Carell.
Okay.
Like, what do you think about him? Would you fuck or duck?
I would duck.
Really?
Not attracted to him, no.
Even like with his personality?
You're talking about like in the scenario of The Office? No, I don't think The Office is. Personally, I'm not crazy about The Office. I don't think it's that funny.
Here we go. We have another hater in the.
No, I don't hate it. It's just like not. I've watched it. I never really could get into it.
That's crazy. I feel like you would like that show, honestly.
Maybe I need to try again.
I think you should try again.
Love The Big Bang Theory. That was my show.
See, like I never got really into that either.
Sounds like a hater.
Yeah, maybe.
Hater.
All right, what's my? Give me something.
Do you want me to do like an actress?
You could do an actress. I just feel like most actresses are kind of
they're all
cute,
hot,
so it's like tough to do. But Steve Carell isn't like
fuck or duck the actress that plays Pam.
Ooh. I actually said that. Quick tangent. I said that I would have sex with Angela from The Office.
Oh, really?
But she's like short and blonde.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of looks like my ex. Not really, but 40 years older.
Yeah, like if you look at it, if you squint a little and look at a certain angle,
few beers
if you tilt your head 70 degrees and squint your eyes, it kind of looks the same.
I'll tilt to 90 degrees.
Right.
I'd probably do it.
Yeah, you'd fuck?
Probably.
Okay.
Like, why not? Like, if I'm trying to think, like, if I saw her at a bar, like, I just don't know, like, what she looks like underneath. I feel like the body would really be, like, I think she has a nice face, like, a cute enough face.
She's very, like, girl next door.
Yeah.
So if you're into that, then I think she's, like, a pretty girl.
Honestly, how about this? I'll do it just so we can talk about it on the podcast. If the option ever presents itself.
If the option presents himself, he's going to do it for the podcast. Okay, do we want to do one more?
A fuck or duck.
Yeah, you want to do one more?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
How about Andy from The Office? Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay, that's crazy. I don't even know what to tell you then. Do you have an actress in mind? I would do like Pete Davidson. Like, would you fuck Pete Davidson? I could see you doing it. What if it was like now there's a difference. What if it was Pete Davidson versus if it was like a Pete Davidson lookalike at the bar? Because one is an actor, so you might.
If it was a Pete, I think the problem with Pete Davidson, I think this is a thing a lot of girls would relate to, is like his funniness makes him 50 million times more attractive. Like, humor is the way to so many women's hearts. Like, if you're genuinely funny,
that's usually how I do it.
It wins people over. And I would say, like, because I like to see like girls like eat it up when you're like like, you know, making jokes and shit like that. They like
when you
it.
have a personality,
they love it. It's not really the same. It doesn't really go the same way for guys with funny girls.
Yeah.
But it certainly does with like girls love funny guys.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I don't think his funniness is enough. I think I would duck still.
Okay.
I don't think he's just like weird looking.
He is a little weird looking, I will say. If he's watching this, he's going to be really unhappy with your answer.
Sorry, Pete Davidson.
All right, give me one more.
Let me see.
I like the actor that's like, because he can be like, I think a lot of girls would. I mean, he's had sex with like Ariana Grande, Kim Kardashian.
That was insane.
I would have done it.
Well, I get why he would have done it. I'm a little surprised that she did it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
Apparently he has BDE.
Yeah.
Big dick energy, for anyone in the chat that doesn't know what BDE is.
I wonder if they're actually like publicly like, if I was a smart guy, which I would think I am in this situation. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. But I would say, like, are these girls actually like putting out a guy's dick size on Twitter? Or no, like, you don't think he's actually like strapped like that?
I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just saying I don't think anyone's truly putting out his dick size, are they?
No, I'm pretty sure Ariana Grande said like 10 something. I forgot what
she posted what his dick size is? I'm sure she wasn't.
She was like, let's say it was like 10 inch ... I mean, things I like about him or something.
Oh. But like, I mean, here's the thing: is it possible that she's being truthful? Yes. I also know, like, Ariana Grande loves to troll people. Like, she's done like she's like, even in her songs, she fucking trolls people. It's hilarious. I think it's so funny that she sometimes kind of plays to a lot of the rumors and things that people give her shit about.
Yeah.
So it could have also just been like.
Did you ever watch the Pete Davidson stand-up comedy? Because he talked about it. He was like, the whole like viral tweet of her being like, my dick is 10 inches, and he was like, she's a genius because now anytime a woman sees my dick, she's disappointed.
I think I do remember that.
Okay, so give me a chick. The people would love to know.
Trying to think here. Oh, my little bunny.
Your little bunny's
my little bunny tail.
Fell.
It looks like a bunny's tail, not their asshole.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a pervert. I don't know.
How would you know what a bunny's asshole looks like?
Don't ask me those types of questions if you don't want to know the answer.
The answer is he's looked inside a bunny's asshole.
Yeah, well, I looked inside their hearts. Okay. Not in a weird way. Right. That sounds crazy.
Okay, let's move on. No. Let me think of an actress here.
Don't take too long.
Kourtney Kardashian.
Oh my God, is she looking like how she looks on like in real life, or is she looking how she looks on like her like cover magazines?
Well, are you fucking the cover magazine?
I'd like to, as opposed to the.
You're not having sex with the cover magazine. Obviously, what she looks like in real life.
No, but I'm saying like she might. Okay, that's a scary take. I don't know. That's a big woman, I think.
No, she's not. She's tiny.
Oh, I'm thinking about the other one, Chloe.
No, Kourtney, the short one.
Oh,
the one that dated. The one
Travis.
that dated Scott Disick and who's with Travis, whatever.
Yeah,
his name
Barker or whatever.
Barker,
yeah. No, I'd fuck her absolutely. Why wouldn't I? And she's 45. She looks great. I was thinking you were talking about
Chloe. She's the one that's like the bigger sister.
Yeah, she's actually. Maybe I'll have to hit her up. She's 5 foot. Kourtney Kardashian.
Yeah, I know. That's why I mentioned her.
How much is Yeah, like there's a big difference in how Khloe Kardashian looks in her pictures versus like.
Well, what the thing that pisses me off about Khloe Kardashian
Let's hear it.
Is she advocates for weight loss, working out, all of these things, and tries to encourage other people to do the same.
Yeah,
it's like it's not like you act like because they'll fucking go on social media. It just takes dedication. It's like it also takes the millions of dollars you have to eat only healthy food, have personal cooks, always cooking healthy crap for you, personal trainers every single day, beautiful gyms. Like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And there's no, and like obviously all of these people are getting surgeries and operations, and they can get the liposuction and all these different crazy like cosmetic procedures and like everything to like make it as easy as possible, or they go on Ozempic or whatever it is. So I like when a celebrity tells like I take with a grain of salt pretty much any celebrity that gives out weight loss or like weight like gym tips and stuff. Yeah. There's this one influencer that posted a video of her lifting weights. Mind you, she's like 5'11", a twig, abs. And she goes and she's lifting. She's lifting like 10 pounds for every single like body group.
Yeah.
Just like these 10-pound dumbbells, not even like horrible form, not even doing anything right. And yet her body looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because genetically she's blessed and she's rich, and just the way it fucking works when you can basically the world is your oyster and you can have whatever you want. And it's like you people need to not be putting this crap on there because like it's a false illusion. Okay.
I think the viewers are done with your
my rant is over.
Yeah, sorry. You went off on a little spin there. Which one's the hottest? Like the Kardashian or the Jenners? Like which one out of the 5 of them?
Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner, you think is the hottest one?
Yes. Okay. Because she's had the least done, the least work done. Yeah, she's had like you can tell she hasn't had as much
5'11". God damn, that's a whole lot of.
I can't say that she definitely hasn't gotten anything done, but you can tell she's gotten the least amount done out of all of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
like her face doesn't like it gets to a point where like some of this plastic surgery where it looks fucking creepy. I'm like, all right,
Kylie Jenner is 27.
Yeah, she's the youngest.
That's fucked. Wow. Maybe it makes you feel less successful in your life.
27 and a billionaire is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The best part is she's self-made.
Yeah. Well, that's good for her.
She was self-made.
Yeah, in quotes. But anyway, we'd still do it.
Yeah, you would fuck Kylie Jenner.
I should. Right? Yeah, I'd probably fuck most of them. Except Rob Kardashian. I probably wouldn't.
Oh no, I thought that would be.
I'll leave that one for you. Actually.
What about Caitlyn Jenner?
Ooh. Well, listen, because we're allies here on this podcast, I can't confirm or deny that I would say yes or no, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay, last segment, FMK. Let's do the week. Fuck, marry, kill. What are your days? Oh,
okay. I actually do. So I'm gonna marry my Tuesday.
Okay.
Sunrise on the Reaping, the new Hunger Games prequel came out.
I heard that.
Read that shit in one day. Amazing.
You finished the book
in one day. Yes.
How many pages was it?
400 something.
Oh my god, you have too much time on your hands. That's not what I meant to say. I meant that's really courageous and impressive that you did that. She's done. She's about to tap out. We're almost done.
I will fuck My Thursday was really fun. Went out with a girlfriend for her birthday, whatever. We had a really good sushi dinner.
Yeah.
Super fun. And then I think I'd kill.
You got to include
maybe
Friday.
I'd like kill my Friday. Yeah, probably kill my Friday.
Yesterday night.
It was like bittersweet. Obviously, I'm like so proud of everyone, but it's like definitely really sad to like know that a lot of my good friends are gonna not be here anymore.
Yeah, we definitely can't marry Friday because I feel like if I married Friday, I'd be sad for the rest of my life. I'd probably kill Friday. Yeah, I'd kill Friday. I'd say I'd marry, I think Thursday because that's when I went on the date with that girl, and she has such a cute face, and it is like I don't normally I feel like go up like tell girls like, oh well, that's not true. If I'm dating a girl, I feel like I'm always hyping them up. But if I'm just like seeing a girl that I think is cute, I'll say she's cute, but this one just has like a very, very cute face to the point where I'm like constantly, like at least multiple times while we're hanging out, I'll just be like, you have such a cute face, like, and then give her a kiss or something. And A, they eat that up. I think she likes it. But B, it's also just truthful. Like she has a ridiculously cute face.
I agree. She does have a very cute face. She's like adorable. Like she's short. Yeah, she's like really, really like, cute girl. Yeah.
So anyway, so I'll say marry Thursday, even though I probably like wouldn't date her. I think she's great though.
I don't know. We'll keep you updated, Motor Gang.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, Motor Gang.
Maybe we'll bring her on as a guest.
I don't know if we should do that. And then what's fuck? What would I fuck? Probably maybe fuck Tuesday because that's when I went out with the other Latina girl on the bike ride and stuff. That was fun.
Fun, yeah. Bike rides are fun.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right.
That's I think we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone for listening. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Yep.
Give us a follow, likes, comment anything you want us to talk about, or comment fuck you. We really don't care.
Monday Moans on all usernames except TikTok, which is Monday Moans Pod.
Please and comment fuck you. All of this will be linked on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all that shit. You can literally tell us that you hate us on every single one of the platforms, comment. And we're gonna react. The
we'll respond to it absolutely.
You can really just say whatever you want. But if you have any topics you want to hear us yap about, you can also sprinkle that in there with all of the fuck yous that you're posting as well.
If you say fuck you, I will bring it up on the podcast.
Yeah.
That is a promise.
If you tell me I'm ugly, I'll bring it up on the podcast too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have tears in my eyes, but I'll still bring it up.
I'll be crashing out, but
I'll still bring it up.
Yeah.
All right, Motor Gang. As usual, great talking to you.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, see you on the next one. All right, bye.